Okay, it's time to check our last review before our last test of 8th grade of middle school. So here we go. Sale price of a $495 television if it's on sale for 20% off. So I just found 20% of $495. $495 times 0.2, that's $99. Took $99 away from $495. The set costs $396. Simplify Radical 98. Radical 98 is 49 times 2. 49 is a perfect square. I can bring the root out, 7. The 2 stays in, 7 radical 2. Simplify. Well, 20 and 16 will reduce to 5 and 4. Then if it was a negative exponent, I pushed it down. If it was a negative exponent down here, I pushed it up. So I ended up with x cubed, x squared on top, y squared on bottom. Multiply my x's, multiply my y's. 5x to the 5th over 4y to the 4th. Final answer. Now on number 4, I had you find the volume of this cone. Remember our formula for volume, it's not just area of the base times the height. We have to take a third of it. Okay, so the base of this figure is a circle. So that means pi r squared for area of the base. R is 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3.14 is 28.26 times the height is 4. Divide by 3. You should have gotten 37.68 inches cubed. Number 5. Convert 7/12 to a decimal and a percent. 7 divided by 12, 0.58. The 3 keeps repeating, so as a decimal you should have written 0.583, repeating bar over the 3. To go to percent, I need to multiply the whole thing by 100%. So your division problem would be 700% divided by 12. Gives you 58 and 1/3%. Unit multiplier to convert $12 per hour to dollars per minute. So I only have to change my dollars, my hours to minutes rather. Okay, so $12 per 1 hour. 1 hour is 60 minutes. This allows me to cancel my hours. 12 divided by 60 is 20 cents per minute. Number 7, a rule for the sequence. So I just did blanks here because I wanted to find the first 4 terms. So for the first term I said 1 is n. 1 minus 1 is 0 times 2 is 0. For my second term I put in 2 in for n. 2 minus 1 is 1 times 2 is 2. Third term I put in for 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. For the fourth term, n is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3 times 2 is 6. Area of a rectangle is base times height. 2 radical 2 times radical 2. Okay, radical 2 times radical 2 is radical 4. It means a 2 comes out. 2 times 2 is 4. Next. So, number 9. Becky's thinking of 2 numbers. Their sum is 10. Their difference is 6. It says to write the equations, but I went ahead and gave you the equations. I'll do the same thing on your test. Okay? So, look for the equations to already be written. So, we want to find we want to graph these equations and then find where they intersect, and that'll be the solution to this set. X plus y equals 10. That one's in standard form. So I said I could just say if x is 0, y is 10. If y is 0, x is 10. This other one was harder. I just picked values for x and put it in. Okay, I said if x is 6, to get an answer of 6, I have to take away 0, so y must be 0. If x is 8, to get an answer of 6, I must take away 2. If x is 10, then to get to 6, I have to take away 4. Okay, so then I could graph. This is the graph of x plus y equals 10. I did my intercepts, 10, 0, and 0, 10. And then this is the graph of the other line. Okay, I plotted the points, drew my line. You can see that they cross at 8, 2. So if x is equal to 8 and y is equal to 2, then these equations are both true. 8 for x, 2 for y. Graph on a number line. This is red. X is greater than or equal to -3. So close circle on -3, and I want to start shading to the right. And x is less than 2. Open circle on 2, start shading to the left. So I want to shade in between those two conditions. 3x squared plus 6 is equal to 81. I subtracted 6 on both sides. I got 3x squared is equal to 75. Divide by 3 on both sides. I get x squared is equal to 25. Square root both sides. X could be positive 5 or negative 5. This is a FOIL problem. X times x is x squared. X times positive 3 is positive 3x. Positive 3 times x is positive 3x. Positive 3 times positive 3 is positive 9. So I'm going to combine my 3 x's, and I get x squared plus 6x plus 9. The set of integers is a subset of which group? Okay, so if it's a subset, it means it's part of this group. It can't be part of the group of counting numbers because there are integers that are not counting numbers. Same thing with whole numbers. The integers are a subset of the group of rational numbers. Which of the following relationships is not proportional? Hopefully you saw that not word. Okay, and you should have chosen D. Think about what happens when we find the area of a square. We have side squared. Anytime we're going to square something, our line, it's not going to be a straight line. Okay, remember it's going to look like a curve like that. Okay, these other ones will create straight lines that go to or through the origin. Number 15. So we should have started out by adding 3/4 to both sides. Okay, I changed my 3/4 to 9/12. So over here I have 1/12 plus 9/12. That gives me 2/3 is equal to 10. 2/3 x is equal to 10/12. What's happening to x? It's being multiplied by 2/3. How do I undo that? Divide by 2/3, which means multiply by reciprocal. Multiply both sides by 3/2. Your final answer is 5/4. On number 16, we had to distribute and then solve. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10 is equal to x plus 6. I want to get my x's together. So I subtracted x on both sides. Minus x here, it's gone. Minus x here, that leaves me with 4x minus 10 equals 6. Now I want to move this over to here. So I added 10 to both sides. Add 10 to both sides, I get 4x is equal to 16. Now to get x by itself, I need to divide by 4. On both sides, x is equal to 4. One more simplifying with positive and negative exponents. So 6 divided by 2 will give me 3. This x squared needed to go down below. Y squared x cubed. So down below I ended up with x and this other x and y. Then I simplified. 2 of my x's here can cancel out with 2 of the x's here. I'm just left with an x on top. This y cancels with one of these y's. I'm just left with one y on top. 3yx is your final answer there. 33 1/3% of 2/3 of 27 hundredths. So I just did 33 1/3%. I made it into 1/3. Then I did 1/3 times 2/3 gave me 2/9. And then I just did it on my calculator. 2 times 0.27 divided by 9 gives me 0.06. Okay, or you may have made everything into fractions and you might have ended up with 3/50. Both answers are acceptable. Number 19, -5 plus a -4 times a 3 is a -12. Minus a minus, I want to add the opposite. Okay, order of operations, I'm going to add a -5 and a -12 and get -17 plus 2 over -1. -17, positive 2 make -15 over -1. Negative divided by negative is positive. 15 is your answer. And this one I just did completely on my calculator. 0.2 minus 0.02, you should have gotten 0.18. 0.2 times 0.02, you should have gotten 0.004. Divide top by bottom, your answer is 45. Hope you did well. Contact me if you have questions. This is our last test. I really want you guys to do well. Expect a bonus on your last test, and hope you guys are well. Thanks. Bye.